Number 10. Why Swedish women stand out. Swedish women are often recognized around the world for their natural beauty. But what truly makes them stand out goes far beyond appearance. Confidence, independence, and equality are deeply rooted in Swedish society, creating a culture where women are encouraged to pursue education, careers, and personal goals on equal footing with men. Sweden consistently ranks among the world's leading countries for gender equality, and these values shape everyday life from an early age. Unlike in many places where fashion focuses on luxury brands or bold trends, Swedish style is known for its simplicity. Neutral colors, practical clothing, and timeless Scandinavian design are far more common than flashy outfits. Many women prefer comfort and quality over expensive labels, reflecting the national mindset that modesty is more admirable than showing off wealth. Dating culture in Sweden can also surprise visitors. Relationships usually develop slowly and naturally, with both partners expected to contribute equally. It is perfectly normal for couples to split the bill on a first date, and traditional gender roles play a much smaller part than in many other countries. Personal space and individual freedom are highly respected, making trust one of the foundations of long-term relationships. Health and outdoor living also influence daily life. Cycling, hiking, skiing, swimming, and spending time in nature are common activities throughout the year. Combined with a strong focus on work-life balance and healthy living, these habits contribute to an active lifestyle that many visitors immediately notice. Perhaps the most remarkable quality, however, is humility. Even in a country known for high living standards, many Swedish women avoid unnecessary attention or displays of status. Instead of trying to impress others, they often value authenticity, confidence, and mutual respect. Number 9. Sweden's biggest culture shocks. For many first-time visitors, Sweden is not difficult because of the language. It is difficult because of the culture. Everyday life follows unwritten social rules that can feel surprisingly different from much of the world. One of the first things people notice is how quiet public spaces are. On buses, trains, and elevators, strangers rarely start conversations. Silence is not considered awkward. Instead, it is seen as a sign of respect for other people's personal space and privacy. Another tradition that defines Swedish life is fika. While it literally means having coffee and a pastry, fika is much more than a coffee break. Families, friends, co-workers, and even business partners regularly pause their day to relax and socialize. Many workplaces schedule daily fika because it is believed that taking short breaks improves creativity, teamwork, and overall well-being. Swedes also embrace a philosophy known as lagom, a word that has no perfect English translation. It roughly means not too much, not too little, just the right amount. This idea influences everything from home design and fashion to work-life balance and spending habits. Rather than chasing excess or luxury, many people value moderation, simplicity, and sustainability. Perhaps the most surprising tradition is allemansrätten, or the right of public access. This unique law allows everyone to enjoy nature, whether they are locals or visitors. People are free to hike through forests, camp for a night, pick wild berries and mushrooms, or paddle across lakes, even on privately owned land, as long as they respect nature and do not disturb homeowners or damage the environment. Number 8. The country where nature rules. Sweden is one of the few countries where cutting-edge technology and untouched wilderness exist side by side. Home to just over 10.5 million people, This Nordic nation stretches for more than 1,500 kilometers from south to north, creating dramatic differences in climate and landscape. Nearly 70% of Sweden is covered by forests, while more than 100,000 lakes make it one of the greenest countries in Europe. At the same time, cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö rank among the world's most modern urban centers, known for innovation, clean streets, and efficient public services. One of the first surprises visitors notice is how little cash is actually used. Sweden has become one of the world's most cashless societies, with most purchases made using bank cards or mobile payment apps. Many cafes, buses, museums, and even small market stalls no longer accept physical cash at all. For many travelers, carrying paper money quickly becomes unnecessary. Another unique feature of Swedish society is its deep respect for order and equality. Rather than encouraging people to stand out or show off wealth, many Swedes are influenced by a long-standing cultural mindset often associated with the idea of jantelagen. While not an actual law, it encourages humility, modesty, and treating others as equals. Expensive cars, luxury brands, or public displays of success are often viewed far less impressively than kindness, responsibility, and balance. Perhaps most remarkable is how closely nature is woven into everyday life. Dense forests, crystal-clear lakes, rocky coastlines, and thousands of islands are never far away. Even after work, it is common for people to hike, kayak, cycle, or simply enjoy the outdoors. Number 7. The country that imports trash. Imagine a country that has become so efficient at recycling that it actually runs out of garbage. That is exactly what has happened in Sweden. Instead of struggling with overflowing landfills, the country has developed one of the world's most advanced waste management systems, where household trash is transformed into electricity and heat for millions of people. Today, less than 1% of Sweden's household waste ends up in landfills. Almost everything else is either recycled, composted, or converted into energy through modern waste-to-energy plants. These facilities safely burn non-recyclable waste under strict environmental standards, producing electricity while also supplying district heating systems that keep homes warm during Sweden's long, cold winters. Because the system is so efficient, Sweden has at times imported waste from other European countries to help keep some of its energy plants operating at full capacity. Rather than seeing garbage as something to throw away, Sweden treats it as a valuable resource that can generate energy while reducing dependence on fossil fuels. The imported waste is carefully processed, and recyclable materials are removed whenever possible before energy recovery begins. Recycling is also part of everyday life. Most neighborhoods provide separate collection points for paper, glass, metal, plastic, food waste, batteries, and electronics. A nationwide deposit return system encourages people to recycle beverage cans and plastic bottles by offering a small refund for every container returned. As a result, millions of bottles and cans are recycled every day, giving many materials a second life instead of sending them to a landfill. Number 6. Sweden's strangest foods. Swedish cuisine is famous for comforting classics like meatballs and cinnamon buns, but beyond those familiar dishes lies a world of foods that often surprise first-time visitors. Some recipes have been passed down for centuries, while others continue to divide opinions even among Swedes themselves. Together, they reveal a culinary tradition shaped by long winters, limited harvests, and a determination to preserve food before the age of refrigeration. Perhaps the country's most controversial specialty is surströmming, fermented Baltic herring. The fish is fermented for several months before being sealed in cans, where the process continues until they noticeably bulge. When opened, the powerful smell is so intense that many people choose to do it outdoors. Despite its reputation, fans consider it a delicacy, traditionally eaten with thin bread, potatoes, onions, and sour cream. Another unusual dish is lutefisk, dried whitefish that is soaked for days before cooking, creating a soft, jelly-like texture, unlike almost any other seafood. It has been served during Christmas celebrations for generations and remains an important part of Sweden's culinary heritage. Visitors may also encounter blod pudding or blood pudding, made from pig's blood, rye flour, and spices. Although its ingredients surprise many travelers, it is commonly served with lingonberry jam, creating a sweet and savory combination that has been enjoyed for centuries. Not every Swedish specialty is challenging, however. Smörgåstårta, often called sandwich cake, looks like a beautiful dessert, but is actually made with layers of bread filled with seafood, eggs, cheese, vegetables, or cold cuts. It frequently appears at birthdays, weddings, and family celebrations. Number 5. The world's most shocking food museum. Most museums display famous paintings, ancient artifacts, or historical treasures. Sweden has something completely different. In the city of Malmö stands the Disgusting Food Museum, one of the most unusual museums on Earth. Instead of celebrating fine cuisine, it invites visitors to explore more than 80 of the world's most controversial foods and discover how disgusting is often a matter of culture rather than fact. Inside the museum, guests encounter foods from every continent that many people would never imagine eating. The collection includes Iceland's fermented shark, Sardinia's cheese containing live insect larvae, fermented soybeans from Japan, century eggs from China, and Sweden's own infamous surströmming. Each exhibit explains the history, cultural significance, and survival value behind these foods, encouraging visitors to question their own assumptions about what is considered normal. The experience becomes even more interactive at the tasting bar. Those brave enough can sample selected foods and decide for themselves whether the flavors are truly unpleasant or simply unfamiliar. Many visitors arrive expecting to laugh at strange dishes, but leave realizing that foods rejected in one country may be treasured delicacies in another. The museum was created by Swedish psychologist Samuel West, who wanted to challenge cultural bias through food. His idea was simple. If people can become more open-minded about unfamiliar meals, perhaps they can also become more accepting of unfamiliar cultures. The concept quickly attracted international media attention and has turned the museum into one of Malmö's most talked-about attractions. Although its exhibits often surprise or shock visitors, the museum carries a deeper message. Around the world, billions of people rely on ingredients that others may find unusual, often because of local history, geography, or limited resources. Number 4. Sweden's strangest everyday habits. Some of Sweden's most surprising traditions are not found in museums or history books. They are part of everyday life. To many visitors, these customs seem almost unbelievable. Yet for most Swedes, they are completely normal and have been passed down through generations. One of the biggest surprises is seeing babies sleeping outside in the middle of winter. Outside cafes, restaurants, and daycare centers, parents often leave their infants napping in insulated strollers, even when temperatures are below freezing. As long as children are dressed appropriately and protected from extreme weather, many parents believe that fresh, cold air helps babies sleep longer and more comfortably. Another beloved tradition is Saturday candy, known as lördagsgodis. Instead of eating sweets throughout the week, many Swedish families allow children to enjoy candy only on Saturdays. The custom began decades ago as part of public health campaigns encouraging better dental habits, and it remains a popular family ritual today. Sweden has also become famous online because of the so-called Sweden Gate debate. The discussion began when people from different countries shared stories claiming that Swedish children visiting friends were sometimes asked to wait in another room while the host family ate dinner. While this does not happen in every household, many Swedes explain that meals are often carefully planned in advance, and families traditionally expect children to eat with their own parents unless invited beforehand. What seemed shocking to many outsiders was simply viewed as normal family etiquette by others. Another cultural difference is the relaxed attitude toward the human body. In public saunas, lakeside changing areas, and some traditional bathhouses, non-sexual nudity is often treated as natural rather than embarrassing. Number 3. Why Sweden stays so happy. Year after year, Sweden ranks among the happiest countries in the world. While no nation is perfect, many experts believe its high quality of life comes from a combination of strong public services, economic stability, trust in society, and a healthy balance between work and personal life. Happiness here is not built on luxury alone, but on the feeling of long-term security. One of the biggest reasons is Sweden's extensive welfare system. Residents have access to heavily subsidized healthcare, high-quality public education, and a broad social safety net. Parents also benefit from one of the world's most generous parental leave programs, with approximately 480 days of paid leave shared between both parents for each child. This policy encourages families to spend more time together during a child's early years while supporting gender equality. Work-life balance is another defining feature of Swedish society. Employees typically enjoy at least 5 weeks of paid vacation each year, and many workplaces encourage flexible schedules whenever possible. Rather than celebrating long working hours, Swedish culture often values efficiency, personal well-being, and time spent with family or outdoors. Daily traditions like fika, where co-workers pause for coffee and conversation, reinforce this balanced approach to life. High taxes are often mentioned when discussing Sweden, but many residents view them as an investment in reliable public services and social stability. Clean cities, dependable infrastructure, accessible education, and comprehensive health care are all supported through this system. Combined with relatively low levels of corruption and a high degree of public trust, these factors create an environment where people generally feel safe and supported. Number 2. Why Sweden is so expensive. Living in Sweden offers an exceptional quality of life, but it also comes with a price tag that surprises many newcomers. The country is consistently ranked among the more expensive places to live in Europe, especially in major cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö. However, many residents believe the higher costs are balanced by excellent public services, modern infrastructure, and a strong social safety net. Housing is usually the biggest expense. Renting a one-bedroom apartment in central Stockholm can often cost between $1,500 and $2,000 per month, while prices are generally lower in smaller cities and suburban areas. Finding a rental can also take time because demand often exceeds supply. particularly in the largest urban areas. Everyday expenses are also higher than in many countries. A simple restaurant meal may cost around $15 to $25, while groceries such as meat, dairy products, and imported goods are noticeably more expensive than the European average. Public transportation, however, is efficient and widely used, with extensive networks of buses, trains, ferries, and subways connecting cities and neighborhoods throughout the country. One reason Sweden can maintain such a high standard of living is its tax system. Income taxes are relatively high, and most purchases include a value-added tax that is commonly 25%. In return, residents benefit from heavily subsidized healthcare, tuition-free public universities for citizens and many European students, well-maintained public spaces, and generous family support programs. Number 1. Festivals that define Sweden. To truly understand Sweden, you have to experience its festivals. Throughout the year, ancient traditions, seasonal celebrations, and breathtaking natural events bring communities together, revealing a side of the country that goes far beyond its modern cities and quiet lifestyle. One of the first major celebrations is Valborg, held every year on the evening of April 30th. Across the country, enormous bonfires light up parks, lakesides, and village squares as people gather to welcome the arrival of spring after the long Nordic winter. Choirs perform traditional songs, families picnic outdoors, and university towns such as Uppsala transform into lively centers of celebration. Perhaps no event represents Sweden more than midsummer. Celebrated in late June, it is one of the country's most beloved holidays. Families and friends gather in the countryside to decorate maypoles with flowers, dance to traditional music, wear handmade flower crowns, and enjoy classic meals featuring pickled herring, new potatoes, strawberries, and fresh dill. For many Swedes, midsummer is even more important than Christmas because it celebrates nature, light, and togetherness during the longest days of the year. Later in the summer comes the famous crayfish party, known as kräftskiva. As the crayfish season begins, people decorate gardens with colorful lanterns, wear playful paper hats, sing traditional drinking songs, and share large platters of boiled crayfish with family and friends. It is a joyful tradition that has remained popular for generations. Sweden is a country full of surprises, where breathtaking wilderness, innovative cities, timeless traditions, and everyday life come together in ways few places can match. If you enjoyed discovering the real Sweden, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey. Share this documentary with your friends and let us know in the comments which Swedish fact surprised you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next adventure, exploring another incredible place on Earth.